Jeremy, work group leader of the travelling crew out of Toowoomba. Actually construction manager of this project here between Roma and Injune, about 40 k's out of Roma. We're building 33k of upgrading the line over 3 stages. We're on stage 2 and 3, so we're upgrading the line because the line is that old and brittle that it's forever turning off due to faults, because there's a lot of swirl lines come off the main line, and it is the only power line that feeds Injune. So once it turns off, all them customers go off. So pretty important as a project to maintain supply to the customers. So this is the first time we've used fibre poles. They're so easy to cart round, easy to fit. When the guys are fitting the poles, it halves the time. Average time for a timber pole is probably about 30 minutes for a pin pole, and they'll fit in these poles in about 10 minutes. So with the time frame, we normally allow 3 days for timber poles to do 10 span. That's fit, stand and string. And we probably were getting about 15 span done with the fibre poles. So it's a lot more efficient just through the ease of fitting them, and because the more you get fitted, the quicker you can stand them, because you can get them up in there quicker. Compared to a timber pole, they're a lot lighter. They're roughly about 300 kilos with the heaviest hardware on them, which is our strain poles. And the boys will find them really easy, light, because sometimes you've got to turn them when you're fitting them. With the timber poles, you've got to use a crane to do that, where these ones, the fibre poles, they were just putting a sling around them, and they could turn them that way, and so find them really easy to use. Also, the cartage of them, we can fit more on a flatbed truck, which that halves the time putting them on peg. I wasn't here when they got delivered to this laydown area, but I think there was like 3 B doubles that come out, which is cost effective. With timber poles, with that many amount of poles, it'd probably be 10 to 15 truckloads, where there was 3 trucks come out, drop them off. So that's a big saving that way as well. Another thing that's really good with these fibre poles is they come pre-drilled. With our timber poles, they just come as a bare stick. We've got to put the cap on them, we've got to mark them up and drill them, which is all time consuming. With the fibre poles, they're pre-drilled. The guys have just got to turn up and bolt the hardware to the poles. So it's a lot quicker and a lot easier on the guys. With the new line being installed, the customers will see a more reliability of their supply, won't have as many faults, and more quality of supply. That's really good for the local crews. They won't be attending call-outs of a night. They can stay home with their families. Much better for everyone. My big hope is that they constantly use these fibre poles, as I've said, just through the weight and the efficiency in delivering them and getting them on site, and the guys putting the hardware on them. I just think that our crew does a lot of the big projects like this one, and we've saved so much time with the lightweight of the poles.
So with the composite poles, we've got about 250 that we've installed in that particular line itself. And with Injune to Roma, it's subject to really harsh environmental conditions. So bushfire, for example, it's got a high water table, so high moisture content, it's got flooding through there. We've also seen termites and those sorts of environmental issues as well. So a really great test case to put the composite poles in that environment to test it. And so the strategy is to use the information out of that trial to inform a business case to expand composite poles throughout the network. At the moment, the analysis is saying that if we target those really remote, isolated, regional communities where we've got ageing networks, where it's really hard to get access to some of our poles that are out there at the moment, and where we're seeing that environmental damage, it's making sense. So the composite poles upfront cost is slightly higher than the other types of poles, but when you look at that over the life cycle of and extending that asset over 80 years, and with those other benefits, so the tangible and the intangible benefits, it makes sense. And it makes sense specifically around those remote and rural locations where, like I said, the environmental conditions are there, where we can save money on logistics and transport costs, and also, where we can save money through efficient work practices as well. By using the composite poles, we're seeing reduction in transport costs, we're seeing reduction in the whole logistics elements of it, installation costs, and then the time it's taking to actually do the install. We're seeing about a 30% reduction in time, but the actual transport costs and all of those sorts of things add up as well. We can't extrapolate exactly from that trial across the entire Queensland geography because it's just so varied. But we are looking to see a reduction over that life of the asset by about 10 to 30%, somewhere in that range. The Energy Queensland assets were built decades ago, and so we've got an ageing asset base. And so the future, we've got to be looking for new technologies, new innovations to make sure that we've got efficient, prudent network, and it's got to be safe and reliable as well. So we've got to be always thinking about better ways of doing what we do, which is keeping the lights on for our people. We've got a variety of different pole types and in the system at the moment. So out of the 1.7 million poles, we've got hardwood timbers, we've got steel, we've got concrete poles, for example. So composites will feed into that mix of assets that we've got. But what we've analysed is that the composite poles will extend the life. So we're hoping to see 80 plus years out of the life of the asset from a composite pole, compared to about 30 to 50 for some of those other types. So the future of composite poles in our asset strategy, we will see more use of composites throughout as part of our mix. But what we've got to do is make sure that where the composite poles are being used makes sense. And so we'll progressively see composite poles roll out further throughout our networks. So this project's been a really great experience, and it's made us think differently about how we manage our assets and how we can create value for Queenslanders. So it's been really good because of the relationships that we've had with Wagners and also with our teams on the ground, but also our local communities. And we're able to then use the information out of this trial to then really make sure that we're making the right decisions that make sense, and that we can really stand behind that because it's not just about today, it's also making sure that they would stand the test of time.